Good morning, everyone. Our topic for today is the concept of equivalence, cash flows, future and present worth method in making engineering economy analysis. So first is cash flows. Cash flows could be two. There are cash inflow and cash outflow. In any engineering economy analysis, the graphical presentation of cash flow is a useful mathematical model that will showcase the financial condition, present the equivalence and worth of money. How? So using the rectangular coordinate system, using positive y-axis for cash inflow and the negative y-axis for cash outflow. The x-axis will serve as the time period indicator, which should be scaled correctly. To illustrate our topic, I'll be using this problem. A man bought a lot worth of 1 million if paid in cash. On installment basis, the payment are as follows. The down payment of 200,000, 300,000 at the end of 1 year, 400,000 at the end of 2 years, and a final payment at the end of 3 years. How much should be the final payment if money is worth 20% compounded annually? First, we will show the cash flow of the problem. So I will the cash flow by using the buyer's perspective. So the positive y is the cash inflow and the negative y is the cash outflows. So here is it. From the buyer's perspective, he will receive the lot, the right to use the lot, which is worth 1 million. In exchange, the seller will receive a down payment of 200,000 from the buyer, another 300,000 after 1 year, 400,000 after 2 years, and a final payment at the end of 3 years. So you could see that all the payment of the buyer is in the negative y-axis because they are cash outflows. Let us apply now the concept of equivalence by considering the present and future worth of all the money transactions involved in the problem. Okay, we will consider the cash flow again for the buyer, and let us recall the formula for present and future worth. So we have here, we are considering the present worth. So our focal date will be at year 0 or at the start of the buying transaction. So the buyer will have okay, we will consider the cash flow for the buyer and try present worth of a compound amount. So we take year 0 as the present, of course, the present. We will take the present year 0 as the focal date. So on the first transaction, the buyer will have to pay 200,000 as down payment. After 1 year, 300,000. After 2 years, 400,000. And a final payment at the end of 3 years. So this payment, from the perspective of the buyer, what should be the present worth of this payment? 3 payments, 300,000, 400,000, and the final payment. If he has to make a sensitive analysis of the cost of the final payment. Okay, equating the values of payments, considering cost concept and time value of money at present. So the payments is equivalent to this equation. So you have the present worth of 200,000 at year 0. What is then the present worth of 300,000 that is to be paid after 1 year at year 0? So this is the present worth factor plus 400,000 being paid after 2 years. So what is the present worth of 400,000 at year 0? Again, this is the present worth factor. Then we add the final payment X. What plus the final payment X, which should also consider its present worth at year 0. Okay, so we equate it with the cash value of the lot because it is the present amount of the lot, the present value of the lot. Okay. So executing using this equation, we get the final payment amounting to 470,400 pesos. So that should be the final payment that the buyer at the least should pay the seller. So the final payment, 470,000, should be the final amount that the buyer should pay the seller. That is considering cost concepts and time value of money. At year 0, the present worth of money is 20% compounded annually. Okay, this time we will consider the future worth of money to determine what should be the final payment of the buyer. So year 3 will be our focal date. So the lot is 1 million. So the payment of 200 on year 0, we have to determine how much will it worth at the end of 3 years. The second payment of 300,000 after 1 year, we will have to determine its worth after 2 years. The third payment of 400,000 after 2 years, we will have to determine its worth after 1 year. And the final amount, X. To give us the summary, the lot is worth 1 million, and the total payments made on installment amounts to 1,370,400. So if we try to assess the difference of 370,400, that is the worth of the investment of 1 million worth of lot from the perspective of the seller. And from the perspective of the buyer, 370,400, that is the cost of paying on installment basis. I hope this lesson is clear. Please, if you are blessed, if you learn something from me, don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have more videos to present in this channel. Thank you and God bless.